Hi everyone, Janie here. Welcome back to my garden. Really welcome back to my garage. It is about mid to late February now at this time. So our last frost here in Zone 9B, Northern California, Davis, is February 28th. So we are so close to the beginning of gardening season. Super excited about that. I mean, it is just, I can feel it. I can totally feel it. My neighbors are out, everybody's just kind of been outside a lot lately. So what Jason and I wanted to do today is we wanted to get prepared for the gardening season or get prepared for spring. So he went to the store. He's actually on his way home. He just texted me. I see him coming down the road. He actually went to the store to replenish my irrigation components, which if you all watched my my drip irrigation maintenance video last week, I wasn't feeling well last week, but I ran out of a bunch of supplies and I was just getting so frustrated because I always run out of supplies. And so Jason was like, you know what, we're just gonna buy everything in bulk this year. We're gonna go one time and we're gonna buy it all, and then we're gonna have it so that like we don't constantly run out. So he went for me today while I was getting ready and all that kind of stuff. Here, he just pulled in right here. So I couldn't go last week. I was supposed to go last week. I meant to go last week, but I just didn't feel well. So now we have all the supplies. So today, what we want to do for our getting ready for spring, getting ready for the gardening season, is we want to replenish, we want to replenish all the drip irrigation supplies. We want to, what are the other things we're going to do? Sharpen the pruners.
Yep.
Yeah, so we've actually never sharpened pruners before. I've had a lot of people ask, like, how do you sharpen your pruners? Well, so I can sharpen them, but I just sharpen them. I don't actually take them apart. So that's what I'm talking about. I've sharpened them, but I've never actually taken them apart, and I've cleaned them, but I've never actually taken them apart. We are actually going to take them apart today and like really, really clean them. So
we'll see.
We'll see if we can do it. Anybody can do it, right? And then what was the other thing? I know we wanted to do 3 things today. What was the other thing? I wanted to get my gardening wagon all put together. I go back and forth between using my gardening wagon and using my wheelbarrow to try and to take with me to whatever part of the yard that I garden. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my gardening wagon with all my supplies that I normally take with me, just so everything's all ready to go and we're all ready for spring. Okay, Jason, why don't you show us your haul? What did you get?
We got lots and lots of tubing.
Lots of tubing. Okay, so this is the emitter drip tubing, the inline. So it has emitters in each one.
12-inch.
How much is this? 100 feet?
250.
Oh, 250. Okay, so that's good. So we have that.
12 inches, yeah.
Oh, and every 12 inches. Okay. And then this is just the regular 1/2-inch strip tubing, right? And so we got 200 feet there. So like I said, we are stockpiling. Hopefully we will not have to buy any more of this stuff for the rest of the year. I hope this is enough for the year. So this is my kit that I actually have 2 of them. I'll show you all this kit. Right here, these are Home Depot brand. And this is what I noticed was empty last week and needed to be replenished and probably cleaned. But this is where I keep all of my emitters and my couplers and my goof plugs. And I also have my hole pokey thing. What is this called? What would you call this?
I don't know what that's called.
Pokes a hole so that you can get the emitter in a little bit better. And then this thing, I actually don't use this thing barely ever, but this helps get these 1/2-inch couplers into the tubing as well. So this all needs to be replenished. So what Jason did is he went through and he purchased a whole bunch of everything that we need. Look at that. Good job. That's a lot. Okay, so here's T couplers for the 1/4 inch. Here's 1/2 gallon per hour emitters. So each brand has its own color for these emitters. We use Rainbird because Home Depot sells Rainbird. And so 1/2-inch gallon per hour emitters are always blue. 2 gallon per hour emitters are always red. And 1 gallon per hour emitters are always black, which I'm sure you got some of those.
Very nice.
Oh, this is a lot of stuff. this is a lot. What is this?
That's a brush I need for later.
Okay. Anyway, so they're black. And then we also got these. These are called goof plugs. That's how you plug the 1/4 inch emitter tubing, or when you made a mistake on the 1/2 inch emitter tubing. I always run out of these, so that we definitely need those. And then a bunch of couplers. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna fill up the kit just so that we have everything all nice and full. This is my extra kit. I really don't have a lot of stuff in here, but I might use it. So see, these are, I got this at Home Depot, but I was just at Home Depot like a week ago and I looked for this and I couldn't find it. So I don't know if they just don't make this kit anymore, but this one has actually nothing in it. Oh, these are like you can turn it on and off, basically. What am I trying to say? Like a switch, like an on and off valve type things. I rarely use those. So yeah, so this is the main one that I use. You can see this one's incredibly dirty. So yeah, so that's what we're gonna do, is we are going to restock all the irrigation supplies, which I am so excited about. Okay, we just moved the table over a little bit so that it's a little bit better lighting. Now we're just gonna open everything and put it away, right?
Yep.
Okay, let's go. I don't know why this makes me so happy. Oh, it just makes me so happy to see it. We need a couple more of these 1/4 inch, not a couple more. We need like 100 more of these 1/4 inch couplers right here, just to totally fill it up so it looks beautiful and perfect. But you can see everything is all full. Okay, so just to go through these real quick. This is a 1/2 inch tee. I don't use these a ton, but I will be using them more because I'm trying to put more 1/2 inch tubing as compared to 1/4 inch tubing in my garden. So I have a feeling I will be using these more this year. These are elbows for the 1/2 inch. And then these are connectors or couplers for the 1/2 inch. I use these a lot. I use this pokey tool. I honestly don't, I cannot, I'm just like having a brain fart. I cannot remember the name of this, but yeah, I use this thing literally all the time, and it's kind of hard to find. You can't find this one. This is the Rain Pocket. Okay, it's called a Pocket Punch, and I'm pretty sure it's the Rainbird brand, but I use it absolutely all the time. I'll see if I can find it on Amazon, but I'm not confident that I will. And then this one, like I said, I don't use as much. This is the Rainbird brand as well. Then I have my goof plugs. I use these a ton. 1 gallon per hour emitter, 2 gallon per hour emitter, 1/2 gallon per hour emitter, 1/2 inch end closures, 1/4 inch tees, and then the straight T couplers. So yeah, I am set. This is all ready to go. And then what I did is we had extras. So I had this box, reused it, extra drip supplies, and then this just has some of the extra stuff in it. I didn't even realize he even bought more of the 1/4 inch tubing. So this is the emitter tubing. This is just the regular tubing, emitter tubing. So yeah, we've got so much, you guys. Honestly, I'll probably use all this year. That's how much of the drip I go through, just because I'm constantly changing my garden around. So I honestly think I'm going to use all of this. So I don't think all these are going to fit in my box right there. So I think what I'll do is I'll ask Jason to hang a hook on our slat wall over here. Oh, there you are. Do you think you can hang a hook somewhere?
Yeah, we'll find a spot.
I mean, like right here maybe? Do we have a hook that we can hang right there? Yeah. And then we can put the tubing on that hook? What are we doing with those shelves?
I don't know. We have to get rid of them.
We have to get rid of them. So I love this slat wall. It has been so useful for us. Look at how easy that is. Done. Good job, Jason. Yay.
That was hard.
How many can fit? 3?
Yep.
Can you do one more hook right next to it or right below it?
Yeah.
And then this goes here. Actually, I got to get that other empty one. I don't know why I'm keeping the empty one. Just in case. I really only need one. Okay, this is gonna go on the front. There we go. This goes like that. There we go. Okay, now another hook.
I'm not sure where.
Can you just do it right down here? Cool. Okay. And good. Oh, we still have more. Okay, well that can go in the extra box. Put it in the overstock box.
So some of this is different. That's non-emitter tubing.
Okay. We should do one hook for non-emitter. Yeah. Okay, so we've got one hook for the inline emitter tubing, 1/4-inch tubing, one hook for the non-drip tubing. This is just the regular straight black spaghetti tubing. And then we have all my little container here. It's super easy to grab. Piece of cake. I love it. And then sorry. Over here, this is all our extras. Extra drip supplies, you can see. And we actually have a couple, well, like 6 of these, but these are all, I'm going to use 4 of these, right? Are these 50 feet long? Yeah. I'm going to use 4 of these for my cut flower garden here. So I need to do that like in a week, like as soon as possible, basically. So those are all going to be used pretty quickly. So it's not really overstock. This is going to go here. Perfect. And then we just have the 1/2 inch. Where do you want to put the 1/2 inch?
Probably the shed. The
new
shed, right?
Perfect. New shed. All right, let's go. Okay, we're headed over to the new shed over on the side of the house, but I have to stop and show you all the daffodils. I'm going to do a garden tour soon, a February garden tour, but I just have to show you. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Okay, onto the shed. My goodness, and look at all the growth on my rose. Did you see this?
No.
It's like growing like crazy.
That's incredible.
Isn't that great? Look at this. I haven't even fertilized it.
Wow, I hadn't seen that.
Isn't that amazing?
Huh.
Exciting. Okay. Focus. Okay, so this is our new shed that we just put up. We don't have it all set up yet for exactly how we want to store it, just because, I'm not totally sure what we want to store in here, but I think this 1/2 inch drip tubing is perfect, right?
Yeah.
Just stack it on the ground. Here's this one. Okay, we set for drip?
I think so.
We're set for the year.
Should be good.
Okay, on to the pruners.
Yeah, pruners next.
Pruners next. Okay, one more thing just to show you. I'm totally ruining the February garden tour, but look at Mrs. Tingley, my Camellia japonica. Oh, I love it. It's so beautiful. She's so pretty. Did you see this, Jason?
Yeah, I did see that.
Isn't she pretty? I love it. I got this one for my birthday a couple years ago. So it's one of those meaningful plants to me. I love it. All right, everyone. I am behind the camera. You can probably see me in the window reflection. But Jason he's the one who's been researching and working on cleaning and sharpening the pruners. You already did the coronas, right?
Yeah, I did
And
these.
those look...
And they came out pretty good.
They look fantastic. They did. Yeah.
That was my trial run.
Yeah. So now
we'll do
Felcos.
these, which are
A mess.
sticky.
They're a mess.
Really dirty.
Yeah.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're a mess. They're probably what everybody else's pruners look like too.
Probably so.
So this table is falling apart. If you watched yesterday's video, this part of the table is literally falling off. So it's very wobbly. It's done. We are going to be shopping for
a new table soon.
A new whole set, right?
A new whole set.
A new fire pit, right?
A new fire pit?
Yeah.
This is all news to me.
I went to book club and the girl had a couch and then she had a table with a fire pit in the table. It was very beautiful. Okay, move on with the pruners. Okay, so moving on to cleaning and sharpening pruners. And this is for like deep cleaning, right? Deep cleaning. This is for like, I've done the cleaning before, but I've just left my pruners like all connected together. This is for when you really need to do something about it, right?
Yeah. To get into all the joints, make sure that it's all moving well. These are the ones that I did earlier.
Those are my Coronas, which I love. I love my Coronas just as much as I love my Felcos. So if you guys are in the market and like your garden center only carries Coronas, they're just as good as Felcos, I think, in my opinion. So.
But this is how those were working before, and now much better.
Much better.
Okay, so we just need some warm soapy water. We need some lubricant here, some WD-40 to spray on at the beginning just to get some rust off. We've got some steel wool and a coarse brush to kind of get some of the bigger chunks off as well. We've got a sharpening tool here, a ratchet just in case the screws are on too tight for the screwdriver to take them off, and then just paper towels, and that's all you need. Okay, so first step is just to put a paper towel down and open these guys up.
So what are you doing?
Just spraying off kind of all the surfaces just to help loosen up all of the gunk and the rust and stuff that started to set in on these.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna wait 15 minutes or so for that to kind of set in, and then we'll do step 2. Okay, so the next step is to take apart these Felco pruners. When I took apart the Coronas, it was pretty easy. Each of these 3 screws here are 5/16 screws. So the Coronas, you just need a 5/16 socket to loosen them up, and then you can use a screwdriver to take them off the rest of the way, or just your fingers. It's pretty easy. With the Felcos, I realized that they're 2 different sizes. So for this one, the 5/16 works. For this one, it ended up being a 9/32. And then I found out that I don't actually have a 9/32 socket. So I pulled out my drill bit kit here, and I do have these nut driver attachments with a 9/32 nut driver on that. So I was able to use the power drill just to loosen that up a little bit, and then we can start taking them apart. All right, so to keep myself organized, the easiest way that I found was to work left to right across the pruner and arrange them in the same order here so that I remember how they go back when it's time to put them all back together again. So, and this I already loosened with the drill. Okay, and this is the thumb catch. And then there is a little tiny washer here that's actually really important, so that you don't want to lose. All right, so just loosen that up a little bit with the socket, and then a screwdriver easily gets the rest of that off. All right, for these Coronas, I was able to just, with my fingers, unscrew this center bolt here. With the Felcos, they're kind of in worse shape than the Coronas, and it won't come off. So
what are you trying to say?
Maybe they should have been cleaned a while ago.
How dare you, Jason? So this bolt right here, you guys should be able to loosen it. Hold on, let me focus. focus? This bolt right here, you guys should be able to loosen it with your fingers, but because mine were all old and rusty, my Felcos, Jason had to use a wrench. And he has an adjustable wrench, so it didn't matter what size it was.
Okay. And you can see, Yeah. Okay, and then the spring comes off.
Look at how rusty.
All right.
I'm so excited to get these cleaned.
And then the last thing goes there. Okay, and then we will just one by one.
So that water is dirty because
I already cleaned the other ones with
this.
Yeah.
So just in case you're wondering, we don't actually have brown water.
So this is just a coarse brush, just trying to get all of the big chunks off of this stuff. All right. All right, so now that the wire brush part is done, I'm just gonna use the steel wool to get a little bit more of the finer stuff off. And this really does a good job taking off a lot of that extra grime that wire brush wouldn't get. Probably not going to come off, but that's okay. But it's still much better than it was. Really works well though. It's nice and shiny. Gross water, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so the next step is just to get these dried off, because you don't want to be putting wet parts back together because it'll just rust again.
Watch your fingers.
Yes, be careful with the blade. So if you guys don't know, since these are bypass pruners, there's no blade here. This is just the anvil part that the blade goes past, but that's not sharp.
It is almost Stanley's dinner time, and he just sits there and stares at us for an hour before it's time for him to eat, with a sad look on his face. Oh, so sad.
So now to reassemble, we're just going to put the blade back on first, and it has these little grommets or
Pegs.
Pegs that they just kind of snaps right into place. If you get it backwards, it's pretty easy to tell, because even though it does snap into place, things don't line up here. See that? Goes right along that, so then you know you've got it right. And then this part here, there's just a little indented part there, and that is where you could put grease or this lubricant that I happen to have.
Show us that.
This is just generic 3-in-1 lubricant. Prevents rust. Does not take very much of this stuff at all. There are other kinds of, this is more liquid, so I'm not sure how long this will last. If we need to re-lubricate these later, it's possible that I might need to buy another type of more solid grease.
Like viscous?
More viscous, yeah. I think it's called white lithium, if I remember right. It's another type of grease that you can use that kind of stays put a little bit more. But this seemed to work on the Coronas that I used. So put this back like that. Screw comes through the bottom. There we go. And then you can just kind of check and make sure it's working. So you generally did it right. Okay, and then going in order, yes, this is next, but because of that spring, I'm gonna leave that to the side. We know where that goes at the end. So this is that catch plate there. I'm just finger tightening that. I think that's all that it needs. This guy here is just going to go like that.
Fits in like a puzzle piece.
It sure does.
Okay.
And I'm not tightening this down too much because I kind of want to play with it and make sure that it's, yeah, it's working right. Tighten that down pretty good. Looks like we're doing okay. And then we'll put this, call that the catch. I'm not sure what you call that.
Thumb catch.
Thumb catch. So we're going to put that washer piece, don't forget that.
So you sharpen after you put everything together?
Yes, sharpen after. So you can sharpen, I mean, you don't need to take it apart to sharpen it. You can sharpen it anytime you want. And then this is the part where it's very much adjustable. That's actually not too bad, maybe a little tighter. But you of course don't want that to be too tight, but that works pretty well right there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we could put, oh, that's what I didn't do. We can put a couple little drops of lubricant on this spring here too to...
That makes all the difference, right?
Yeah, it made a big difference when I kind of played with this with those Coronas. So that may be too much, but that's okay.
You can wipe it off.
Excess will get wiped off, exactly. All right. But now...
That sounds nice.
Works really well.
Try the thumb catch.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. Good job.
And pretty clean. All right, so now it's time to sharpen these nice clean pruners. And to do that, we just got a sharpening tool that's made by Corona that we got at Home Depot. I'm sure there's lots of different sharpening tools that could work, but the way to do this is you want to actually hold the pruners kind of facing you or kind of upside down, kind of like that. That gives you the most control over it while you're actually running the sharpener over the blade. The blade has, on one side here, has kind of more of an angle to it. The other side is much more flat. And so you want to have the tool at, I forget the exact angle that you're supposed to hold it at, but you want to try to match the angle of the blade to the angle of the tool and then just drag it down the length of the blade, and you got to do it pretty firmly. And you do that about 4 or 5 times. And then you turn it over. And then you could do the back side. You just have to do that once or twice. And that should be pretty much it.
All done?
All done.
Awesome. Yay, Jason. All right, hopefully that was helpful for you all. I think Jason did a wonderful job demonstrating. So he is going to now finish working on the cheap pruners that we have right here. I don't know the brand of these. These I didn't like at all. These are Fiskars. They were fine. They were good. They weren't as good as the Coronas and as the Felcos. But I let the girls use these when they are helping me with gardening. So I want to make sure that they're clean and they're not getting stuck and they're not rusty or anything like that. So Jason's going to clean these without taking them apart. He's just going to do the quick cleaning. So while he does that, that, I'm gonna go get my gardening wagon put together. And my gardening wagon, like I said, I kind of go back and forth. I haven't decided if I love using the wagon or love using the wheelbarrow, but I tend to use the wagon more often these days. So I'm gonna get that all fitted out with all the things that I need. So like, say I'm going to the oak tree garden bed, I wanna just be able to grab my wagon and take it over to the oak tree garden bed and have everything I need in it. So let's get going on that. Okay, so here's the wagon. It's a complete mess. I'm gonna use my garage vac to try and get some of it out. I could probably just dump it, but I feel like it's easier just to use the vacuum. All right, so I'm not gonna worry too much about getting this guy super clean, as you can see, because I'm gonna get it dirty probably tomorrow anyway. So I just wanna make sure that it's fitted with the things that I need. So first off, Sure Start. I always need that, so I will put that in here. I'm sorry about the lighting. It is getting dark out. It's like 5 something at this point. So lighting it's going quick. I'm gonna have to wrap this up pretty quickly. My pruners are still in the backyard with Jason, so I'll get to that. But then gloves, I have little pockets here. So I think I wanna put some gloves in my pocket, just so I have them in case I need them. I do wanna get some of these landscape staples, just because I'll always find like a hose that's sticking out, or I have to adjust something, or you know what I'm saying. Okay, that goes there. And then let's see what else I'm going to put in here. Okay, then I have 2 of these kneeling pads. I love these kneeling pads. I'm just gonna go ahead and take one and put it in here for now, because then I can have another one here, and then one that can kind of live in there for now. I'm gonna leave my drip irrigation there because I don't wanna lose that thing. I wanna keep it in a good spot. And then I did wanna get a trowel. There you go. I'm gonna put that. See, it has all these pockets over here, so I wanted to fill up these pockets. Oh, look. Well, that's perfect. I wanted to fill them up so then I had a place for everything. Okay, and then these are scissors. These are old scissors. We don't use these anymore. I actually use scissors all the time because I have all of that darn landscape fabric in my garden. And you can use a box cutter like this to cut landscape fabric, but I actually find I can cut my landscape fabric easier if I have something like this. My pruners don't work for cutting landscape fabric because they're bypass, but these work really well. So instead of throwing these out, whenever we're done with pruners, they get, kind of old and rusty. I just throw them in the box with my pruners, and then I use these for cutting landscape fabric. So I am gonna put these in here because I actually use those all the time. I know they have things like garden scissors that you can buy specifically, but I already had these, and it's like recycling or reusing. So that just makes it easier for me. Okay, what else am I gonna do? Okay, I think the last thing I'm gonna do, other than my pruners, which I have to go get, is I'm actually gonna put some Sluggo in here because it is the time of year where we deal with a ton of slugs and snails. And so I feel like I can never sprinkle enough of that in my garden when I'm working. So this is pet and kid safe, so it's no big deal, and you can see it kills earwigs, slugs, and snails, and pill bugs. So I think this stuff is great. I use it all the time. I really, really like it. My Master Gardeners class, we had the veggie people come in to talk to us, and they didn't not recommend this, but they said, like, use other mechanisms to keep the slugs and snails away, like the tuna cans filled with beer and stuff like that. So I've tried that before. It's just, to me, this is just, I don't know, like I just feel like it's easier. This is iron phosphate and spinosad. So I don't know. I just really like using that stuff in my garden. I really think that that's what keeps my garden in really good shape. Early on in the season when it's still kind of cold and kind of wet and all the slugs and snails are out. So that is something that I want to keep on me. I feel like I'll use it more if I have it in my gardening wagon. All right, I think that's it. So this is just the stuff that I'm going to leave in here. You know, I'm obviously going to need my shovel and my rake and all that other stuff and my irrigation kit, but this is stuff that I can just leave in here, and then I'm planning to keep the wagon like that. And so it should be pretty easy for me to just come out here, grab the wagon, grab whatever random stuff I need for that day, and then be ready to go. All right, everyone, I think that is it for today. I think we are ready for spring, ready for the gardening season. The pruners really intimidated me. To intimidate you? A little bit, yeah. So it's just, I feel like if it intimidates us, I'm sure it intimidates some of you. But really, it wasn't that hard. Yeah, it wasn't. Once you break it down and once you take out all the tools and you lay it out, I feel like that we can do it. So let's commit to doing that once a year.
We can do that.
By we, I mean you. So Jason, did you hear it? Jason said he was going to do that once a year from now on.
I can do it once a year.
There we go. All right. And then I am all stocked up on my drip irrigation supplies. So I feel so good about that. And then I have my gardening wagon all ready. So I think we are ready to go. Last frost is February 28th for us. And then it's go time. We're going to be going. We're going to get this going. So thank you all for joining us. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a chance to get into your garden today.
Rather than struggle through it, this is a 5/16 ratchet. No, it's not called a ratchet.
Wrench.
Nope.
Cut.
Socket.
We're so good at
We're
this.
so smart.
We've got Dwight in the background trying to get out. Don't make people think I'm torturing you to do this.
Nice. Just a little.
Just a little?
Just kidding.
I'm gonna smack you. Let's go again.
I was about to say fun fact.
You should have said fun fact.
Fun fact, these are totally different. To be this way.
Putting together wet pieces because they'll rust again.
There, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay.